I know you gonna dig this.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Straight off the streets of Compton.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? So here I am in Los Angeles, California, smack dab in the middle. And I'm doing the film locations for one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, a couple of years ago, I was doing a live stream or somewhere down on the East Coast. And this movie was playing in the background. And somebody said, I remember this. He says, that's Straight Outta Compton. I said, yeah, I've seen it like 15 times. They said, 15 times? Whoa, you're such a loser. Yeah. What of it? I love this movie. Straight Outta Compton, the story of N.W.A, how they rose to become one of the biggest rap groups of all time. And right here, this is where the movie begins, with Eazy-E going into a house. Some drugs, some things are going on in that house. The police raid it, he books it out the back. But this is the house they used, right up here. Let's go. This is gonna be a good video, if you like, Straight Outta Compton. So Eazy would have parked his car here and walked right into that house right there. This is it right here. This is Dr. Dre's childhood home. Really, really cool. So not only did he actually live here, like I said, this is actually from Straight Outta Compton. Gets kicked out of the house, comes right down this way. Really awesome to see. There's another shot of the house right there. So he gets kicked out, he brings his box of records and he comes right out this way. There's our shots of the street from this way. Very true to life. Ice Cube did take a bus all the way to the valley to go to school, to go to high school. He did not go to high school down in the area that he grew up in. And in the movie, they didn't use a high school in the valley. They used a high school right here in West Los Angeles. And it's called University High School. And unfortunately, I can't get the right angle because the school grounds are all locked up very, very tightly. And it's a weekday. It's just about half an hour after school let out, but I can't get in. So I'm going to show you a different angle. So in the film, Ice Cube pulls up in a bus and he's looking down to a parking lot. He notices the other kids that are going to school. And there's two archways, and that's the other side of this building. And they shot it going up, kind of up a hill, the bus. But this is as close as I can get. I was just in that parking lot, but you can't even see it. There's so many trees. And it's really, really heavy security gated off. Unfortunately, I just can't get to that part. But I still want to see the school. I want you to see it. But so this was the school they used. You can see by the archway and the roof is, well, it's the same school. It's just on the other side. Which sucks. But still cool. Just say really quickly, a lot of people have written lately, and it was on my Men's Society, Boys in the Hood video, a few other videos. People have written why I don't include addresses, why I never put down the address of where I am. It's basically it's a couple of reasons, but the main reason is I did that when I was first starting YouTube, and then a couple of people sent me photos of them going to locations. It was private residences, and they were staying on the front lawn taking photos, and they were like, look, Scott, we made it too. And they went on the porch of somebody's private residence. That's something I don't do. I shoot from the street. I stand on sidewalks unless I'm invited on the property. So right then I took down that video and re-edited it because I was just like, no guys, that's not cool. So that's pretty much the reason why I don't do it, why I don't put addresses. And another reason is a lot of these addresses, you can find them. If you Google and you search, you'll be able to find them. Now, a lot of them aren't listed. I've had to find them myself. I'm not precious about them. I don't want to, I'm not trying to keep a secret. But it's a matter of, you can find a lot of them. And the ones you can't find, I probably will tell you if you write to me and if you get a hold of me, then I have no problem telling people. But you got to be respectful of people's private property and respectful of the area. So that was the main reason why. I was a little oh man, I don't know if I should include addresses because of that reason. And also, another reason is it takes a lot of time to make these videos. A lot of time. I spend so much time in my car driving from location to location, especially when I do multiple locations for a movie. And then the editing takes so long to put in the clips. It takes hours. So the very last thing is put little addresses on each thing. I guess it's a laziness factor. I don't know, but it's not really lazy doing all these videos. But you know what I mean. I just get like, oh God, do I really want to write down each address at each location now that I'm here? I have to go, whoa. Do I really want to go and write down each address each time? I have to go back through my notes, line them up. Because once I leave the address, once I leave the place and I start editing, I mean, it's buried in my notes of where I was. I can't even remember. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd always tell you if I can. But if you go to these places, just be respectful. Like, there were a couple students back there. I could have said to them, you know what, can you sneak me on? Can you get me on? But it's a school. It's a little different. So yeah, that's why I don't do it. Because some people ruined it at the very beginning when I put addresses up. They went and they stood on people's private residences. They stood on their porch and took photos and sent them to me. I'm just like, no. But I would love everybody to see these locations. So you Google them and you go find them. And if there's ones that you can't find, slow down the movie. Look for street signs. Look for stores in the background. Figure out what city they filmed in. Then you go from there. It's a lot of detective work, but it's fun detective work. So it's more fun for you. Okay, let's go to more. After school, Ice Cube goes to visit Dr. Dre at his aunt's house. And this would be the aunt's house right here. You can tell by these very distinct bushes out in front. And Ice Cube walks right up there into the house. And beats were born. Hip-hop beats. And more of the genesis of N.W.A. in the movie was formed here. Alright, so right behind me, right there, that's Compton City Hall. And in this scene, this is the birth of Ruthless Records right here. Dre's sitting right here. Eazy comes and bails him out. And they decide to start their record label right here behind me. So in the scene, Eazy has his car right here. They have a little conversation here. Dre goes and sits right there. And there's some reverse shots with that in the background, that part of the building. That's here in Compton. And yeah, that's a courthouse. So they use some real life locations. Yeah, right here. All right, somewhere else from straight out of Compton. That's right, this is the location where they had the Skateland. This is supposed to be Skateland down in Compton. Their concert in 1988. This is the location they used in Glendale. This guy keeps getting in my shot. He likes being on camera. Let's get him one more time, just for prosperity. Charity? Just for the prostate. What? That's right. They played a concert at Skateland in 1988. They redid it right here in Glendale at this location, which is an actual skating park. And they're filming some music video inside right now. I was just inside looking, and very cool. But yeah, that's it right here. And kind of reminiscent of the early days of N.W.A, probably what they had to deal with. If you want to see what a low budget music video shoot their craft service table looks like, that's about it right there. Just a couple of oranges, some granola bars. Yeah, I don't think it's a huge band. You know, Ice Cube's not shooting a music video in there right now, that's for sure. I'm being a little quick with this location because my car is very, very illegally parked. But you can see here, this is it right here. So Dre walks right across to here, and the rest of the group comes out here. And right here is where they're on the ground being harassed by the cops. So you see lots of shots that way, and that way. And of course that house is very prominent in the background. That stop sign, the hydrant, it's all still here. I mean, it's only been 5 years, but still. But right here, this is where they were lined up on the ground. Same red patch right here, which means no parking in Los Angeles, which I have completely ignored. I don't know if I can get in trouble with that after the fact if I'm saying that. Well, I'm just quickly here. But yeah, there it is. That's the studio. Now the actual studio is down in Torrance, and I have a video. I've been inside that studio where they recorded Straight Outta Compton. I'll put a link to that below. And I actually did a video a couple years ago inside the actual studio where they recorded Straight Outta Compton, which was an absolute thrill. But here it is right here. So right there is where they would have been laying on the ground. I'm not sure what this actual building is now, what's going on inside there. I don't think it's an actual recording studio. But yeah, Salem and Concord in Glendale, if you want to come out and take a look at it. It's a very cool location. Or go to Torrance to see the real one. Watch my video. The other one. Keep watching this one. Alright, somewhere else. And of course the famous hotel scene takes place inside this hotel, which I can't get into now because of COVID, but they walk right past this fountain right in there. And that's one of the best scenes in the movie, is what happens inside this hotel. Oh man. Eazy-E had a wet and wild party. And it was at this house, right here. This is the one they used for the movie. And it sounds like some people are having a party in the backyard right now. So I'll be a little quiet. People live here. Driving up this way past that garage. Now, of course, let's get out of the light. Dre goes right up into this driveway right here. All the girls are walking along here. And the camera continues along, showing off the impressive estate right here. How amazing is that? What a house. Wow.
Its verdict, and not one of the 4 police officers seen on videotape beating Mr. King a year ago is guilty of using excessive force. They've all been found not guilty.
Oh, for Christ's sake. For the scene depicting the LA riots after the Rodney King verdict came down, Dre and Q were driving the cars along right here. This is Laurel Canyon Boulevard, and this street was used extensively right here. They're driving down this street, and this is North Hollywood, but this is a really particularly burnt out area of North Hollywood. But you get a shot going right down this street. You see it in the background, and they use this. All the windows are boarded up here, as you can see. This side too. So they picked a good area. Not much has changed in about 5-6 years. Somewhere there's an unhappy baby. And there's always flat screen TVs left everywhere when you go to a burnt out area. But yeah, this is all shot right down here. Dr. Dre gets pulled over in his Ferrari by all the cops with the helicopter and everything. It's shot right here. You see all, it's so windy. You see all these buildings in the background. That one's a dead giveaway though. That building there, very distinct. It comes right around the corner, stops right where I'm standing. This is where they arrest him, right here. So he's coming from that direction there, makes a left towards where I am right now. So you will see some of those buildings in the background, but it's mostly this way. Few angles from this way when he's being handcuffed, I believe. I'm just trying to remember the scene right now. But it's right about right here. And of course, it was shot at night, but those are the buildings that you would see in the background. Very cool. This is Century City here in Los Angeles. And right here, this is where that scene was filmed. I don't know what's going on that side of the fence, but it's really annoying. Very loud. Shut it! And of course, there's this scene where Jerry's coming home with his groceries. I was shot right here at this house. Same gate. You can see with that design on the wrought iron. And he's threatened right here. So shot from this angle too, and you see reverse angle this way. It was a nighttime shoot, so a little difficult to match with the background there. But yeah, he gets right to that doorway. We have a little discussion there. Right there. Very cool. Then of course they do a faraway shot at the end of the scene, kind of encompassing the whole area. Kind of like shot from that angle there. Except they would have had a crane, and I forgot my crane at home, I'm sorry. Yeah, but that's Jerry's house. And when Eazy finds out that Jerry's taking advantage of him financially, they have some shots inside this house. And I think they may have actually shot inside the house, because you see through the window into the house in one of the scenes. Like you see from the establishing shot of the house, you do see inside. And it looks like they did maybe did shoot inside, not too sure, but it's right here. And that's straight out of Compton. There's some locations I couldn't get to. I thought I'd end it here. This is about maybe 2 hours into the film. It's a long movie, but it's a good movie. One of the best movies of the past 10 years. One of the best movies ever. Yes. I've seen it 15 times. 16 now. And then when I edit it, that'll be 17. All right. Peace. Hope you enjoyed it. Out.
Damn, that shit was dope.